in the town of Doorn, D-O-O-R-N, which is 38 miles outside of Amsterdam in Holland. And this is the town where Kaiser Wilhelm came to live in exile after he was removed from the throne of Kaiser in Germany in 1919. So the Kaiser came here. This is the entrance to his estate, and he lived here until he died in 1942. And when he came here, he brought many of his personal belongings, to include his uniforms and his headgear and his swords and his daggers and many other items. And this has all been turned into a sort of a semi-private museum. So the museum is closed now. We're in October. It's only open during the summer, and we've managed to get a private viewing at some of the Kaiser's things. So we hope that you'll enjoy this program. Now stay there.
A little bumpy.
Look at the beautiful estate. We've arrived at the site of the chalet, and you can see it has a wonderful old world flavor, and of course it reminded the Kaiser of his homeland in Germany, and that was very important to him. So now we're going to go inside. Come into the lobby of the House Doorn now, and you can get some idea of the beautiful furnishings here, crystal chandeliers, lovely paintings. Such a pleasure. Some of our group here, we have Herr Schmitz, who was instrumental in the design of army uniforms and medals in the 1930s. In fact, he won a prize for his design of the German army uniform. We have a collector with us, Huis Magnus, who is an Imperial Naval collector. We also have the famous Jan Pijper, the man from Amsterdam, the curator of the Ship's Museum, who probably knows more about naval daggers than anyone else in the world. These are just a few of our entourage here. So this is some special treatment we're getting. Of course, our host is Bill Laret, who's showing us around Amsterdam and Doorn.
The thing where the uniforms and all the colours.
The glasses are of Frederick the Great. The table is set as though the Kaiser were ready to come to dinner. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Kaiser.
The chair for the Kaiser is here on the left.
Oh, yeah. And is it Mason?
Meissen porcelain, yeah.
No. Probably.
Come over to the other side of the room, hon, and we have a beautiful portrait of the Kaiserina.
Strength in Europe, in
here in Doorn, this painting of the Kaiser was made. Und der Kaiser later too? Yeah.
First time.
First, yeah. Uh-huh. So beautiful. Would this ship model have been made by...
Horrible kitsch. But it was the gift of the different German states
Yeah?
by the Kaiser and his I think it's 25 years. 25 years. 25 years after. But an example of, hoe zeg ik, craftsmanship.
Building in 1914. Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Victoria Louise. Nee, Victoria Louise hoor ik juist weer. Augusta, Victoria Louise is de dochter, ja.
The Christ. F.R. Fredericcus Rex. Yeah. The crystal goes back to Frederick the Great's time and bears his gold crest. The beautiful porcelain chandelier we're looking at here was also made for Frederick the Great by Meissen. It's in a type of a sitting room off the dining area. As you can see, the Kaiser was a great collector. This unique collection of center enamel pieces from Gorget represents all of the military regiments of Prussia. The Kaiser also collected snuff boxes, and many of those are shown in this display case. I think that, I suspect when he had dinner guests, he was very enthusiastic about showing this collection. Magnificent and probably unique in the world. Had a magnificent portrait of a young Frederick the Great. And below the portrait, we have some porcelain that was made for Frederick the Great in China. And the porcelain was lost at sea when the ship sank. And many, many years later, it was retrieved, and this is the pieces that they were able to salvage. It's very interesting, although the figures are European, they're painted with eyes that have the Oriental look to them. Also, around the room, you will see paintings of men who are known as the friends of Frederick the Great. Without elaborating too much, it's a well-known fact that Frederick the Great did prefer the same sex. Here in the boudoir of the Empress. For those of you that like the feminine touch, I think you can appreciate it here. Beautiful writing desk there. The clock is very different. Almost has a Roman look to it, maybe. Come with us, Jane? That's the second one. These are all Russian regiments of the Tsar. This would have been Nicholas II's time or before that?
Yeah, before that. Special made for the war gallery in the Winter Palace in Petersburg.
Oh,
you see here the uniform, this time.
We're on the second floor now. This is a I would call it a library area. There's a lot of books about and comfortable chairs, some great paintings, and there's also a magnificent view of the garden, which we'd like to show you if you'll follow me here. That the Kaiser had a nice look outside from this area. Very beautiful. Here we're in a room that exemplifies the tie-in with Kaiser Wilhelm's background with the British. As most collectors know, the Queen Victoria was Kaiser Wilhelm's grandmother, so he had a great fondness for the British, and as a young man spent a lot of time in England. You can see a Scottish motif, regimental uniform that the Kaiser is shown wearing as a young man above. And throughout the room, there's a baton that was made in the British manner for the Kaiser. We can take you over and show you that. Very interesting. Notice how delicate it is compared to the batons of the German field marshal. You can see in a photograph to the right, above, here is Churchill as a young man. Quite interesting. In this photograph, you can see the Kaiser holding the English baton, and he's next to George V, yeah, who was a cousin, I guess. Yes, his cousin, yeah, George V. And also, if you come to the left here, it's interesting, the Kaiser in Russian uniform, and George V, his cousin, in a Prussian uniform. You see, the monarchy of Europe was all related. They were cousins and brothers and whatever, so they exchanged the uniforms of their the governing body of their relatives. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Kijk nog even rond, kun je even zien?
Herr Schmidt?
Ja.
Could you tell us now these batons,
Yeah.
Field Marshal baton, was there a different one made for each uniform?
No, alone for each uniform, there's a question of function. Er was een marshal staff, marshal button, hè,
Baton,
baton, zeggen de
ja,
button. Button, marshal button voor Byron.
yeah,
You see the Byron.
yeah, yeah, I understand, yeah.
And that is the
Russian, poison, yeah.
and there's the admiral.
Admiral of the Navy then.
Admiral of the Navy.
Yeah,
That's imperial, of course. But
yeah.
King.
Aha, there's a difference then between
You had no
military and...
imperial army. You had the Prussian
True,
army.
that's true, that's right, yeah. The
That's what
Kaiser
everyone
yeah.
seems to forget.
Yeah,
As you said,
Guided
the
across,
colonial forces
yeah, right.
and the navy were imperial.
See, I said it last night and forgot it this morning already. I see. Now,
Luister zo.
Ja,
beautifully displayed.
Can you get an oldest?
This is the Kaiser's Pickelhaube from the Garde du Corps regiment. This is all his personal uniforms here that we're looking at displayed. It's a magnificent display, just beautiful. As we go around here, we're looking at the naval uniform, and of course the fantastic dagger. I hope that we can see the detail. The Kaiser had another dagger that had the cross guards were dogs, heads of dogs, and that one still is unknown. Smith is going to tell us the uniforms.
The uniform, the Kaiser came in 1918 on the Dutch border, here, in this photo. And he was as marshal, in the marshal uniform.
Yes.
This uniform this is sword, you see?
Yeah, yeah.
This is the uniform, the great uniform, ceremonial uniform of the Guards Hussars.
Hussar.
A special sword, huh?
High quality.
Sword is magnificent. Would there be a damask blade on that sword? Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah.
Is it must?
Yeah. Magnificent.
Er is niet Samas.
Nee, helemaal.
Er is niet Samas.
It's a happy example of this kind of story. Now, and Magnus is trying to get the jerk out, okay?
And this uniform,
Yes.
the Black Hussars,
Yeah.
Guards Hussars,
Would that be the light?
and there's the uniform Light Hussars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Light Hussars.
Yeah.
And this is very typical. You see here,
Yes.
this uniform, a navy uniform, and you can see here, wat is de epaulet in het Engels ook weer? Epaulet. Two epaulets of the Sea Battalion, the Dutch Imperial Marines. And it is typical for this epaulet with the German Emperor crown and the Prussian King's crown
Together.
and that is very typical, and that is in the world of collectioners. Oh, that is this. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
You can see his short arm.
yes,
Look here.
for the benefit of collectors that might not know, Kaiser Wilhelm was born with a withered left arm,
Yes, you can see.
and you can see it very easily in these uniforms, especially here. He, when he was in public, Herr Schmitz, he concealed this fact as much as he could.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Ja, maar wat ga je dan doen? Wat ga je nou doen?
And this is the Kaiserlich Marine Admiral.
The uniform admiral.
Yeah. We've managed to get the Kaiser's shirt out.
This dagger was given by Prince Heinrich of Prussia,
Yeah.
a brother of the emperor, to the emperor. And it has a damask blade.
We're talking to Jan Pipe, who is one of the foremost experts on imperial naval daggers. Yeah, Jan?
And it has a special inscription on the blade, on the damask blade. The damask blade is of big roses. And the special inscription says, to His Majesty the German Emperor on 13 September 1901. And on the other side, Prince Heinrich, Prince von Preußen.
And Heinrich was the
brother.
head of the navy for the Kaiser, right?
Yeah.
And the brother?
Commander-in-Chief.
Yeah.
Furthermore, this dagger is in a better condition than the average dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that on the grip, it has a special carving in raised ivory of the royal cipher, the imperial cipher. Strangely enough, it says W.R., meaning William Rex, William King, and it is under the imperial crown.
Is this the only dagger known that was owned by the Kaiser naval?
So far, yes, but his common dagger must still be in the family possessions, we think.
And this would be the one with the dog's head cross guard.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the year again on the?
1901.
Yeah. So that's that would be typical of the 01 pattern that was adopted that year for officers.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's also the stamp of WKC.
Do you think, in your opinion, Jan, that WKC would have been the Kaiser's favorite firm?
I have no idea.
No way to tell.
No.
Yeah.
You see, both Icon made pieces and WKC made pieces.
Aha. Yeah. So they didn't favor any one particular firm.
No, they would not.
Yeah. So I see. Not good for business. Yeah.
Also in there.
Yeah. Herr Schmidt tells us that there were 58 railroad carloads of personal belongings of the Kaiser when he arrived, and when he came
In
to Holland,
1924. And it was special by given the permission by the President of the German Republic, Weber.
yeah,
And I think 40, 44 or 45 wagons with furniture, paintings, collections, clothes,
so he could
uniforms.
we could assume he was
Oh, yeah.
fairly comfortable with that.
And this was his
Yeah.
cap by the field, for the field uniform in years of war.
Yeah. Still in excellent condition.
All
Near mint.
very good condition.
Yeah. These are the Kaiser's personal swords. And more of the Kaiser's headgear. Yes, both sides.
Both sides. And here the wire wrapping going through the holes underneath the carving coming out the other side.
Yeah, I have a light.
Very unusual.
The only thing is that the point is bent.
Jan, have you ever seen grip wrap done like that?
No, never.
Yeah, I never have either. What a magnificent dagger.
Dit kan ze een afname maken.
Ja, ik wou die klaar maar komt er een klok?
Niet direct, maar hij heeft het nodig om voor te bereiden.
Zou dat koers niet ook op de zitten?
Ja, dat is allemaal.
Burning the lamp. Is it too strong?
It has disassembled the Kaiser's baton, and we were hoping for some diamonds inside, but nothing. Very beautiful.
Maybe good.
Extremely beautiful. This is the Marine, right?
Navy.
Navy, yeah.
Navy. Admiral.
Admiral. Yeah. We would think it would have been blue, but it's not. It has a red velvet. Rota.
Ja, ik geloof niet dat er meer dat staat.
Somehow this, when the baton came out, everybody forgot about the dagger. Look at this. Look at this. Like a lost child it is here.
It's not clear.
We're looking at the Kaiser's swords here, and you can see we have a wooden Burg on the top of Bavarian cavalry, and what looks to be I think a Hessian underneath. And Herr Schmidt says that this one below is from Jerusalem. Yeah, very unusual.
Big trip to Jerusalem before the First World War.
Yeah.
They gave there a hospital and church, and there was near Jerusalem a very big imperial camp, and he gave his friends this special Wat is deze in het Engels?
Small sword.
Sword.
Small sword.
Small sword.
So again,
So
that's
these are
information I had never known.
Dat is
Then the Prussian Model 89 on top. The Dagen would be cavalry. What did you say, Jan?
dat is als jäger, the horse jägers.
Aha.
Horse, jägers on horse.
Okay.
I'm now reading it what it says here.
Ja, ik nou, dat kan.
Then you have the Ulan sword.
Ulan,
of
yeah.
Saxon,
Yeah.
the infantry sword of Mecklenburg,
Mm-hmm.
and the infantry sword of Baden, which of course is related to the Austrian.
Yeah.
The buckle.
The Mecklenburg, you don't see that much.
No, quite rare.
Yeah. Yeah.
A beautiful sword 12 is the model of the East Austrian donation from Franz Joseph II
Yeah.
to Kaiser Wilhelm II on a silver jubilee in 1913. So
That's a terrific blade, just beautiful.
absolutely stunning.
The basket hilt, is that pierced too, like a filigree?
Yes, it's completely pierced.
Boy, that
Very
is
intricately
fabulous.
done.
I think I see the Austrian two heads on there. Is that what I'm looking at? The eagle?
That's correct,
Yeah.
including the Imperial Austrian crown of Rudolf II.
Mm-hmm. And then below this we have the Kaiser's Russian dirk,
Yes,
complete with the hanger.
yes.
And we would call this the 1902 belt. Is that correct, Jan?
Well, I don't know because this is the Russian regulation belt,
This is not the German belt then.
not the German belt. The
Okay.
Russians have something very similar.
Mhm.
You see, the lion heads are different,
Yeah, there's a slightly different shape to them.
and this is a fairly international type of hangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
The naval sword we're saying is British,
yes,
yeah.
it's a British sword.
and there's a heavy cavalry.
Now this one, this is the Russian naval officer sword.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that
looks like
completely.
It looks like a cavalry sword, but it
Yeah.
is not.
Yeah.
The guard is very fine.
That was in his honorary function as admiral of the fleet of the
Okay,
Russian
yeah.
fleet.
And over here, this Herr Schmidt said this was a Danish naval. Yeah.
That's the Danish naval officer sword of about 1840 pattern. It's
Yeah.
still being worn in Denmark, and it's considered by collectors as one of the most beautiful naval swords ever devised.
To me, it looks Art Deco. It's way ahead of its time in styling.
Really quite interesting sword.
Yeah.
Sonic Loss.
Come on, Bill.
Ja, maar hij moet...
Ik blijf met...
En die moet gesloten worden. Kijk hier.
Sorry, we moeten zeggen ook.
Ja, die moet gesloten worden.
Nou,
ik kom er meenemen.
Epaulets of the Kaiser. You can see the
Color
collar
Guard
patch.
Regiment,
Yeah.
Food Guard Regiment.
So the Kaiser's boards, Herr Schmidt, different from another field marshal, bigger
Oh yeah.
or the same,
Bigger situation.
better made.
Better made.
Yeah. This is a nice statue which shows the years and the ranks as the Kaiser advanced with his military career. This wood is of interest. The Kaiser liked to chop wood, like President Reagan, I guess. And this is a piece of wood that was cut from a 255-year-old tree planted by Admiral de Ruyter's, who was a Dutch admiral.
And they have a special part where the servants move from floor to floor, because the servants never move through the house. So they have this small, narrow part in the back of the house with the narrow cases.
I can't believe this, Bill, after all this elegance. And look at this.
And look at this. And have a look at the basin where they probably washed their hands before they went inside.
I can't believe this beautiful, beautiful house and this back stair. That's so funny.
That's really the back stairs.
Yeah. So, the servants, though, I think it still would have been good to be a servant in the Kaiser, though,
I
wouldn't it?
presume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we going here, Bill?
This is the attic. That's where all the remainder stuff is stored.
The Kaiser never came up here, did he?
Are you kidding? With a log like that in the ceiling?
And
And
what do we think is going to be up here?
A lot of spare swords for you to...
Things that nobody
Look at-
wants, maybe?
No, I don't think so, Tom. I don't think you can take him with you.
Okay, we're going to go up and see what's up there, guys. Here we go. Look at the spare cupboards here, guys.
I presume that most of the servants live here, okay?
Yeah. Boy, could you imagine what those cabinets would fetch on today's market?
Yes, you see, those most likely, there are the slot counters for the Dutch nails.
Fancy ook.
Oh,
Ook voor de fancy, ja.
liggen die op zolder?
Ja,
These back rooms off the attic are full of furniture. Look at this stuff.
Ja, die komen. Van de cupboards, hè?
Beautiful.
The spare cupboards.
They just didn't need them.
and you see here the arm of Danzig.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the crest of Danzig. Yeah. Yeah. Remember that, hon? We have an U-boat scabbard knife with that crest on it. U-108. I can't believe this. We're up in the attic with Herr Schmidt's,
Austrian.
and there's the Kaiser's hats are just, and uniforms. And look, there's piles of swords here. Just, I can't believe this. This is incredible. Oh, Herr Schmidt, you're going to break something.
Even being thrown about.
When the Kaiser was here in prison, he was always in the with trees.
Oh, yeah.
Dit was his pullover.
Mm-hmm.
Sweater.
Sweater, geen pullover, sweater.
Sweater, they
Yeah.
call it.
To keep the Holland dampness out.
But not the Holland moth.
This is really something.
Look at all his uniforms, Anthony.
Spanish.
Spanish.
The emperor was a captain general of the Spanish army, and you see here the uniforms of the Spanish uniform.
Yeah.
Numancia dragoon.
And the swords that are there, do they go with the uniform?
Here, Spanish.
Yeah?
Spanish. Wait, Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish.
And what's in the corner here?
Austrian war uniform. Austrian war uniform. As general in the Austrian army.
Yeah. Turn of the century period?
1914, 1918.
Yeah.
Was special for carnival. For carnival. Carnival, just like
Ah,
that.
yeah, party.
Party, yeah. Festive.
Uh-huh.
What's in the hat cases, Herr
Yeah.
Schmitz? In the leather.
Top hat in here and a riding hat.
Is there?
Yeah. Look at the top hat.
Oh, yeah.
Special for
Ah,
when he go to England,
yeah?
to Windsor. Here you see.
Isn't that wonderful? Huh. Gee whiz.
And there's a riding hat there.
Riding hat.
Look at that.
Allemaal goede situatie, hè? Goed bewaard.
They very lovingly look after the stuff here.
Yeah. Look at all the boxes.
They're all hats, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the 4.5. Yeah.
Dat is hier nog. Nee.
And the one in the back with the feather?
Dat is een carnaval.
Carnival.
Festive again.
Yeah.
En dat is voor de personal. The uniform of the Black Hussars.
Yeah.
First Leibgarden Husarenregiment nummer 1, Danzig.
Danzig, yeah.
Danziger Husaren.
Yeah.
Danziger Husaren.
Look at the beautiful boots. How nicely they're. Someone's still polishing them, Herr Schmidt. Are they okay? Beautiful. The spurs. Fantastic.
Onbeschadigd, hè?
That is patent leather.
Patent?
Yeah.
Patent.
Patent leather.
Patent, you call it.
Yeah. But his isn't all crazed like most of it we
because
see.
it's
How
been
they'll-
stuffed up so it
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
the shrink
Yeah.
or expand.
Yeah,
More board.
more boards.
Oh, I think we have 200.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
just so
all
incredible.
catalog what they are.
Yeah.
It says on, yes. 4th Guard Regiment.
Look here.
Fantastic, isn't it?
In civil clothes, shirt, cravatten.
Cravat, yeah, ties,
Look here.
neckwear.
Yeah.
I think this
It's a bit out of fashion now,
18,
isn't it?
18 years
Coming
old.
back. It'll be back.
It'll be back in style.
Just like pink
Nice.
and black and all colors.
No polyester
Real
there.
British. Pink.
But are that not the boxes for cups over there? The small boxes?
Oh, dat is epauletten.
Oh,
Ja,
epaulet
beneden,
boxes.
hangen beneden, ja. Zie.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the British style.
Die is British style.
Yeah.
Ja, dat heeft, dat is het goede contact met Jan Piet, hè. Dat het allemaal kan.
Ja, natuurlijk. Dat
Ik bedoel,
Is he looking? Anybody see? Oh. Oh, if we only had, oh, geez, it's so great up here. What fun.
Yeah, now you know why Betty Furness does it once a year. She goes in the attic.
Yeah. And look what Herr Schmidt has for us over here. More hats. Yeah. Bring the camera over so we can see in here, and this is fantastic.
I'm looking. I want to see.
Yeah. Look at the epaulet there. Wow.
Just an example of how beautiful these were made. And see how the arm is shorter?
Het is een goede situation.
It's in perfect condition, no mothing.
Geen motten, hè?
Yeah. Fourth Guard Regiment,
4th Guard Regiment.
foot regiment. But in uniform special made for Doorn.
Mm-hmm. You can tell that by the cut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Field mark.
Yeah, let's look at that. Yeah. Oh,
Sorry, they have it.
look at this. The epaulets are so beautiful. Who was primarily the tailor for the Kaiser? As special person or many people?
The
Taylor, how do you say Taylor?
the Taylor was,
Yeah.
he came from Germany.
Yeah, what was his name?
Yes. He was an uncle of my sister-in-law.
Oh yeah, a relative sort of.
Yes, my
Yeah.
sister-in-law, and she had a German family,
Yeah.
and her uncle was the Bresser.
Yeah.
And he was from Dutch origin.
Yeah.
He was living in Berlin.
Yeah.
And he made, in the years before 1914, a lot of uniforms of the German Emperor. My sister-in-law, she taught me, but he came by the Emperor, and it was impossible to name the
Measurements, yeah.
impossible. And he came and said, Brewster, how are you? And he had an assistant, and he said, to his assistant, 22.
22 assistants.
24.
Oh, the measurements.
With the German Emperor, in 25 minutes, he saw the.
He was looking while he was
And,
looking at the Kaiser's
and
measurements.
his assistant, with closing cuts,
Yeah.
and he said, 50 pounds. And then he made the uniform or the civil clothes, and it was always
Perfect.
Because he had to be such a delicate situation, of course, with the deformity of the
Yeah,
emperor.
sure. Yeah.
So
His name was what, Herr Schmidt?
Bresser.
Bresser?
Bresser, B-R-A-S-S-E-N.
B-R-A-S-S-E.
One of the.
Well, and he probably had some others too. Yeah. That's so interesting with the measurement.
he has covered just about in every uniform.
Yeah,
So you
every
never
uniform.
need to
Yeah.
to transfer.
No label anywhere, huh?
Very good name.
Yeah. Look at the silk and.
I think this is
Nothing to identify.
75 years old.
Yeah, and look at the silver, hardly even patina.
How's doing?
Very nice.
How's Doorn? Yeah, the museum.
What I think was very impressive about it for that.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Hon, you have to come over to the other side and take a picture of these closets.
Well,
There's a box here. I wonder what this box is here. Collectors, you're saying this for the first time because I don't know what's in this box, but we're gonna see. Nothing. What could this box be for, Herr Schmidt?
A sword. Little sword.
Little sword.
Sword.
Yeah. I thought it was a dagger box too.
This was a gift of the Hungarian people.
looks like more Moroccan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes from Berlin though, so Louis Werner, Hauptjeweler Berlin.
Handmade.
Hungarian.
Hungarian, yeah.
Look here. Look
Yeah,
here.
the hand stitching.
When he played the gypsy.
You make a film and I give you this skirt.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's got a nice feel to it. Let me tell you. Do I look like a gypsy?
I don't know if that's your style.
Perfect. It fits perfect.
This is special.
I was about his size.
Yeah. Good coat. Even in Philadelphia.
He's me in
Perfect for the opera.
Philadelphia.
Walking down the main drag in Morristown.
Fantastic.
Before you go any further, you see this key.
Yeah. I'm being handed a key here. I wonder what it fits.
Isn't it, don't they?
Yeah. The detail of it.
Oh, we have here a lock.
I can see.
You must be always.
Het was een kwestie van groot vertrouwen, zeg het eens. Zeg het eens.
Yeah, it's a matter of trust.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the
I
only way.
came here and I was alone the boat.
Really? Yeah.
And it was, yes, it was a question of fear.
So Mr. Smith really loves it, and he looks after it. It's
Yeah.
his own,
I can
and
see.
that's why
Yeah.
nothing gets destroyed or taken away.
Disappears.
Disappears.
I'd like to just, in the corner here, there's a
Come on.
couple of
Salt.
yeah, just
Wat zit in die dozen daar allemaal?
Allemaal samen, we zien eruit.
it's just back here
My God.
with the last
Deze
plate.
kragen,
It's just,
allemaal op de kragen. Look hier.
Sorry.
yeah, look at this.
Just check it.
There's another one that just happens to be this
Russian.
Russian?
Yes, Russian.
Yeah.
Russian,
Cavalry. Cuirassier.
Dit is the Belgian coat of arms on there.
Belgium.
Belgian.
And here's in case we want to do some business, we have the Kaiser's document briefcase. Yeah.
It's a briefcase.
Yeah. Would his someone from his staff would carry this,
Oh, yeah.
or he wouldn't carry his own.
Ja, kijk eens.
En dat is de Belgische.
Another case for a sword with nothing in it.
Dat ligt die allemaal onder de
It's
kant.
scalloped out for a Model 89.
Ja, maar we hebben het
And more boxes.
Ja, ik heb het ook gezien. Zo.
Nou ja, dan maakt het niet uit of je de 20 of 1
Ja,
idee hebt.
we hebben er hier
Cipher.
Helemaal
Ja.
vol.
we hebben nog ook nog iets aan het terrein.
There's a crown with a W. You can't see it.
Nou, kijk eens, nieuwe.
Het is een hand kort al die dus de hele cirkel.
Let's just pick out something that looks nice. Maybe we look at this.
Die beeld maakt hele gevestigd.
Ja, die wil ik heel niet over. Maar dat is heel gek, ja, dat is een hele gekke deur. Die is gemaakt.
De allemaal met de
They all just put their. Look at this piece, Japanese, given to the Kaiser.
ceremonial, hè? Oh my God. Look, yeah.
Fish. Ja. Dat is fish. Fried fish.
Yeah, there's shark skin.
Shark.
Did you get the
Yeah.
Ocean, what do you call that?
the tempered line that's fit with that? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Magnificent.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at the length of it. Oh my goodness gracious. But don't touch the blade, it's very sharp and the cut.
And the scabbard's so pretty too.
Yeah.
Oh man. And this is just in the back of the closet, piled up with the rest
Well,
of
matter
the...
of fact, there are 40 sables lying on top of it.
Herr Schmitz, this is something else. We're having so much fun here.
You see those?
Yeah, look
They're
at
opals.
these. Yeah, sure.
That's funny for a Japanese sword, opals.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. No? That I certainly would display.
You film it?
Heaven.
This should be displayed.
It's the other way, isn't it? Take care from here. That
This sword should not be in the closet here, Schmidt.
No,
it should be
that
displayed.
must be displayed.
It's too beautiful to have in the closet. Oh man. Oh,
The way it goes in and out of the carrot.
You know, it was always together.
yeah. Another parts piece, guys.
That's it, that's the end of it.
Yeah. Nobody will ever see it again. Not for a long time.
That you must display.
Yeah, that should
Well,
be
I'll put it with all the other 100 swords.
Yeah. This is the most incredible thing. It's in there with the rest of them. I gotta just get my nose in there once.
You want a quick light in there?
Yeah.
You want a light in there?
Jägermeister, Herr Schmidt?
Jägermeister.
Uh-huh. The Kaisers.
Kaiser.
Yeah. Are any of his hunting uniforms here?
No,
No?
we have a little
Mm-hmm.
guards officer of William II, years before the war, before 1940. He told me on a moment came Goering here and guest from the Kaiser. And he was special here.
About 1938?
No, that was in 36, 37.
Yeah, yeah.
And he asked the emperor to give him the title of Duke of Brandenburg. But the Kaiser, he said no, it was the Kaiser was very, you said both, angry, very angry.
Yeah.
And for him was Goering and and Laret. You understand?
Yes.
And then on a moment said the colonel of the house to me, the Goering came very late on the imperial dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a costume with trousers, with knickerbockers.
Yeah.
And
Breeches.
the humor of the emperor was in this moment very, very low.
Yeah.
And then after this visit in Holland, said the emperor to the personal, the chair for
The chair
where Herman was sitting,
Yeah.
the chair, this chair,
Uh-huh.
basically. In the central heat. Get rid of them, burn it.
Put in the fireplace. Yeah.
There's a reason.
So they burnt the chair that Goering was sitting in.
De chair in de oven van de centrale verwarming, hoe noemen ze dat?
And the boiler.
In de boiler of the central heating.
And he had the nerve to come here and ask the Kaiser to bestow the title of Duke of Brandenburg.
To make him a nobleman. To ennoble him.
That is such a great story here. Yeah.
Plus, he was late for dinner and he wasn't properly dressed.
Oh, right.
Plenty of nerve to have.
Pepper Herman.
Yeah. Der Dikke, huh?
Ja, dikke. Ja. Nou, ze hebben genoten, ze hebben
Jouw geduld is spreekwoordelijk.
Wat is dat?
Ja, dat je zo lang met de mensen die
Here, Tom.
Ja, here you go. I think you can.
Have a look at the spare part.
What do we have here?
I don't know what kind of buckles, maybe shoe buckles, but the whole box full of those silver buckles. What kind of?
things, you know,
So fascinating.
All spare buckles, all solid silver.
Isn't it fascinating that we are here among the
Of course.
personal belongings?
Yeah.
All little spare parts for his uniform.
Alles, hè?
Ja, alles.
Hebben we vergeten.
All silver, solid silver.
Silver. And here are all spare buttons for whichever uniform. It says on the front of the button, front of the box what button it is.
Yes.
Here's another access way for service, so they don't go through the
Yeah, this one, the other side is
Is this another servants area here?
No, service here, living
But that's the access way for service, the small circular staircase here.
Yeah. It's so funny. You have all the opulence of the place, and then these little cubby holes for the servants to sneak around. Look at this.
spiral staircase.
Yeah.
Small,
Yeah.
so you can imagine this is not for the royal family.
No.
So they get on the back stairs from apartment to apartment.
Yeah, that's really, isn't that neat?
But all this will be restored.
This room is original here. It's never been changed. And on the door, Herr Schmitz, what does it say on the door here?
Garderobevrouw.
For the lady who took care of the wardrobe.
Clothing. The lady of the wardrobe. The
Yeah.
wardrobe lady for the wardrobe.
Yeah. This looks completely original.
I like the nice.
Nothing's been changed in here in years. Little, is that a pen and ink section?
That looks like it.
Yeah.
Bill, you're utterly ridiculous with your silly laugh.
Bill is carrying this lamp around. We thought we might need it for light. So you can be the judge of that on the pictures, you audience here. You say that this house was owned by the family of Audrey Hepburn?
Audrey Hepburn.
And the Kaiser bought it from them.
Bought it from the mother of Audrey Hepburn. The grandmother.
So it was not given to him?
No.
Oh.
But Audrey Hepburn's father, the mother was a baroness. But the mother was a baroness.
Aha, okay.
Now I tell you this most unbelievable. No.
There's another room where
Even the Pope.
the chamber pot. Oh boy, this is great.
Look here.
Here we come. Herr Schmitz is calling.
Linen,
Yeah.
look at the linen in the silver and stuff.
Nice bit of wood.
Look at this. The linens are still stored here.
You were a bit cold last night, weren't you, Mary?
Yeah.
No,
It's as though the Kaiser is coming back tonight, and he might need something to keep him warm in bed. It's all ready
He
for
probably just got a blonde with him then.
him. Another room with furniture, things just stored. Another room. This is a nice piece.
yeah.
Original. This is a photograph of the Kaiser hanging this maid's room. Probably taken right before he died. Another a pen and ink drawing just hanging in an attic room. So much stuff here. An old bathtub. You can just see it back here in this room.
Inrichten tussen de periode, maar de deur eruit halen en een glazen wand zetten, dat de mensen erin kunnen kijken hoe het bediendenkamer en een oude badkamer. Die zou restaureren zoals die was. Dat zou blijven. Dat is vol, hè? Dan moet er heel veel kamers in. Zo'n badkamer. Oh, dat is van een glazen deur en dezelfde kleur op de deur houden. Maar ja, goed, er zijn al bij, ik heb zoveel gedaan, dat heb ik al niet gedaan. Ja, de dans hangt hier. Zullen we? Mag ik de dames en heren zoeken?
Dat klopt, dat is beauty too.
We've come downstairs now to the second floor, and I think we've pretty much seen everything here. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed it. I'll tell you, this is some experience. Is the Kaiser there? I feel feel like I can see him sitting there. Reading the newspaper, maybe? Or he's thinking, how can we make some reckoning with this corporal? We're looking down a wing of the chateau here, where Kaiser Wilhelm died, and no one except the family has ever been in these rooms. The public is not allowed, and we understand that they're going to make an exception and let us in here. So, this is the Emperor's room, Herr Schmitz?
No. Empress.
Empress.
She was dying here.
Yeah. It's virtually the same as the day she died.
Yeah.
They left it the same space.
1922.
What is the first wife?
The first one.
This is the first wife of the emperor.
Yeah. You see Adelbart's picture here. That's a very young boy. This is the workroom of the Kaiser. Nobody's ever is allowed in here.
Cigarette and cigar case.
Cigarette cases. Cigar cases.
Here's something funny for you, Tom.
Yeah.
Well, while he was working at his desk, he was rocking on his rocking horse.
Oh, that is funny.
To stay in the mood.
Now, how do we explain that? Come on, Bill.
I have no idea.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. There is no way to explain it. Isn't that interesting? No one is ever allowed in this one.
Personal pictures and memories.
Memories of a lifetime.
Of this voyage, you got to go sailing to the Mediterranean with this little yacht.
Yeah.
There are many pieces from Crete and from Egypt here. From the original Greek daggers.
So these were, we could say, tourist pieces from his day.
Mementos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waar je niet bij, dan is die niet.
The Kaiser's bifocal. It's an old type eraser, yeah.
There's some pictures of their villa on one of the Greek islands. I think on Crete. They had the villa. Let's have a quick look in the dining. We are now entering the room where the Kaiser died in 42 or 42.
42.
Yes. This is normally not accessible to the public.
Yeah.
Lijkt een beetje...
We think that the Kaiser loved his first wife very much because he has many photographs of her in his room and throughout his private areas.
Wash stand.
Yeah.
Wondering about.
You will recall the Kaiser many times has seen with his two dachshunds. Now here we come out of the house Doorn. There's the private chapel of the Kaiser. We're going over to look at the dachshund graves. And we're looking at the stones here. Can you explain to us this how this is?
Well, I don't know very much, but the Kaiser loved his dachshunds, and he apparently had all his life. He had one or two dachshunds at one time, and these names, which you may film, are the names of these hunts, and the one in the center has a special text translating as the Faithful Centaur, 1907-1927, who accompanied His Majesty the Emperor in the World War 1914-1918.
An old dog, 20 years old.
It's very touching, isn't it?
And we actually have several photos in which you see these dachshunds.
Yeah, sure. You see them running around the decks of the Holland there and the yacht.
The atmosphere is delightful at the moment here.
And there's a deer park behind her.
Wunderbare atmosphere here. And I might, while you are filming, Tom, I might point you to this beautiful eagle.
Yeah.
Which has the navy anchor here. I don't know what the eagle stands for,
It's magnificent.
but it is very well made here.
One of a kind, certainly.
Yes.
Hebben jullie gezeten al?
Well, we're coming to a close of our private visit to the Kaiser's home in Holland, and I really I hope that you enjoy seeing this video because it's something that probably no one in the world has done yet. We feel like we're groundbreaking, sort of, blazing the trail in history. We saw some things that were just phenomenal, and I can't thank Herr Schmidt enough, and Jan Pijper, and Herr Magnus, and of course our friend Bill, who has Bill Laret, who has kind of accompanied us through Holland and arranged all of this. So it's a great moment for us, and I hope it is for everyone else too. You can't see this online.